Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. As we set off on this new year, sharing the stories of New England, we're also taking a look back. Tonight, a few of my favorite stories, including a tour of one of Boston's most historic hotels. If the walls of the Omni Parker House could talk, they'd tell of high-profile guests and major milestones. Nearly 170 years ago, much of what's now considered Downtown Crossing was the true crossroads of all things important in the bustling city of Boston.
The original City Hall is diagonally across the street. King's Chapel is one of the oldest churches in town. When Harvey Parker decided to set up his hotel in 1855, he knew this was a really important place.
Susan Wilson is talking about the start of what would become the longest continuously operating hotel in the country, the Parker House, now the Omni Parker House.
You walk in and there's dark wood and chandeliers and bronze and brass, and you just get a feeling that you're walking into the 19th century, however, with all the modern amenities.
30 years ago, Susan started her love affair with the Parker House while researching her history columns for the Boston Globe. She has since written several books and been named official house historian. Oh, the stories she tells.
When Charles Dickens came to visit, this is the place he wanted to be. When Mark Twain came to visit, this is where he wanted to be.
Giants of literature were drawn to the Parker House in part due to its proximity to the Old Corner bookstore. Yes, now a Chipotle.
That was the epicenter of the golden age of American literature. Emerson, Longfellow, Louisa May Alcott, Harriet Beecher Stowe, etc. That's where it all happened.
Charles Dickens lived at the Parker House for 5 months. He practiced reciting A Christmas Carol in this very mirror.
Dickens then was like a rock star today. It was nothing to get 2,000 people in the audience to hear him do a reading. They scalped tickets at the time.
Along with esteemed guests, there were also unfortunate ones, including John Wilkes Booth, who stayed at the hotel days before heading to Ford's Theater. He was even seen practicing his shot.
The newspaper reported that he was doing strange things like gymnastics, like shooting over his head, under his arm, doing all kinds of contortions. 8 days later, he went to Washington and assassinated President Lincoln. And so Harvey Parker he just hated this.
The Parker House evolved over time. What started as a 5-story brick and marble structure grew to this by 1886.
They referred to this as the French Chateau. It was just a gorgeous, elaborate type thing.
Torn down for a complete overhaul in 1925, the hotel as we know it was built on the original footprint and continued to make history. In Parker's restaurant, where Boston cream pie was invented, along with Parker House rolls, Malcolm X, then known as Malcolm Little, was a busboy. Then, of course, came JFK's political rise.
Countless things have happened in this room over the decades. Everyone from Dr. Ruth to Jane Fonda to Desmond Tutu. But probably the single most famous thing is that in 1945, after John F. Kennedy got back from World War II, he decided he wanted to be in politics, and this is where he declared his candidacy for Congress.
He even chose the Parker House as the spot to pop the question.
This is the famous table where John F. Kennedy proposed to Jacqueline Bouvier.
Every day you learn something new. Just besides the history, you meet all interesting people from all across the world.
The hotel's incredible longevity, a testament to how much guests enjoy their stay. In fact, many think at least one guest never left. An elevator is known to strangely stop at floor 3 for no reason.
Sometimes this will happen twice in a week. Sometimes it won't happen for a couple of years. I have actually been there when it's happened.
Let's see where it takes us, Susan.
Charles Dickens did in fact stay on the 3rd floor. People who believe in ghosts say that ghosts come because they have unfinished business or because they really like a place. And we think that Dickens really liked this place, and perhaps he's just inviting people up.
Dickens apparently not up for visitors on this day.
It took us to the right floor.
It did. It did. You never know.
It did feel a little strange in that elevator. Susan Wilson did offer an alternative theory about it. While many people think that Dickens is just stopping the elevator at 3, it turns out a famous Boston actress named Charlotte Cushman also stayed in and died in the Dickens suite on floor 3. So she could have something to do with the strange activities of that elevator, if you believe in that sort of thing. Up next, reconnecting with an inspiring little girl.